It's all the above, best believe we do it better. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. What up?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Angel Marie from All the Above Podcast, and I am joined here today by the lovely, talented reggae singer, songwriter, Sharon Marley. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
How have you been?
Thank you for having
What
me.
have you been up to?
It's been a lot of work for the last few weeks, just before the release of the single, with the rehearsals and interviews and everything happening. It feels like I'm back 20 years ago again.
Well, welcome back. Are you ready to get into this interview?
I am.
All right, so we're going to start off with, first and foremost, the recent release of the One Love Biopic, which follows the life of the late, great, as well as your father, the legendary Bob Marley.
One love, what about a one heart?
What can you tell us about the One Love Biopic, and how do you feel that it captures the true essence of your father's legacy and his lifestyle?
Well, I think the movie, even though it's a movie, it's our life. It's my life, my brothers and my sisters and my parents' life up there on the screen. So after you get over the initial shock of seeing your life story being replayed again, I mean, it wasn't a pleasant memory, that assassination attempt, which is the time that the movie is covering. What happened at that assassination before he went to Europe in exile, self-exile. So it's kind of shocking to see that story again being told, but then when you get over that part and start to view the movie as a stranger, an outside person, it's quite informative. It teaches a lot about our Rastafarian religion, growing up Rastafarian and in faith. It teaches a lot about faith and maintaining that connection to spirit. I got a lot of that from it. As well as the struggles of, coming back to one's senses after an attempt on your life,
Exactly. And can you let us know, can you share some cherished memories that you have growing up in the Marley household and just being engulfed in your family's musical legacy and how that influenced your childhood and your upbringing?
Well, music was a big part of our childhood, always, whether it's on the radio or on the stereo or at rehearsals with our parents. There was always music. We didn't think of doing anything else but music. At one point, I wanted to be a veterinarian, because we always had animals around, and but it seemed only natural that music was where our direction was. There's a lot of music.
Now, what would you say are some unique aspects of your father, Bob Marley, that you think contributes to his enduring impact on music and the culture globally?
Well, I think he definitely was a man with a mission. Like any other great persons who come here with a specific, you feel like it's your duty to do, not unlike Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or even Jesus. They came here with a mission. And so they had everything they need to carry through their mission, even if at the end of that mission it meant you were, giving up your life. So it was a big mission that he had, which, I think a lot of people were touched by his music globally, as you know.
Exactly.
So that's not an easy responsibility to have had, whether you knew it or not. you know?
That is very true. And music carries on through decades at this point.
Yeah.
And the One Love biopic or the movie, it will certainly introduce Bob Marley to a whole new generation. What kind of
Yes.
message do you hope that young audiences will take away when they watch this film?
Well, I think commitment to anything you put your mind to, the
Mm,
discipline and the tenacity with with which you approach any goal. You
mhm,
know, you have to continue to work at it. You can't just try one time and give up. You must be consistent and believe in what you're doing. Sometimes, you know, a lot of people are doing just regular work that they're not really that in tune with.
mhm.
But to find a goal within yourself of something, because we all came here with different gifts. And sometimes we take a long time to find what our gift is. But when you find it, be persistent, you
Exactly.
know?
I love that. That's a gem right there. I hope everybody pays attention to that. And you've mentioned this when we first started the interview that you're back in the studio and you're making music after 20 years. So
Yeah.
congratulations on that. Welcome
Thank
back.
you. Thank you.
So after 20 years, you have decided to tap back into music and you released a new single titled Steppah featuring Big Youth.
Need my Steppah right now. So mended, recommended.
What inspired the song's creation and how did the process of collaborating with Big Youth come about?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but the short of it is Nico Rebel gave me a rhythm. You know, it goes in the music business. You have different producers making rhythm and you know, sharing it with different artists to see if you like that rhythm, you want to sing a song on that rhythm. So I got this sexy rhythm, as it was called, from Nico Rebel. And my son, Injamar, who is my songwriter, he wrote Butterflies and he also wrote Steppah. I said to him, okay, so listen to this track and basically that's how you write music. You first, or some people do it vice versa. They write the lyrics and then they find a beat. In this case, we had the beat and then we wrote the lyrics. So he kind of gave me the skeleton of the lyrics of the song, and I kind of put in some of my vibes and energy into it. We came in the studio with Leroy and we said, okay, we want to slow it down a little bit and get it back into the one drop. Oh, the light went out. So it's a short, the short end of a long story.
Oh, that's perfect. And
Yeah.
what caused you or what inspired you to want to tap back into music after such a long hiatus? What caused that spark back in you?
Well, like I said, we are all born with gifts,
Mhm.
you know, and sometimes you don't feel complete until you get that out of your system,
Mm.
you know. So I think that is what it is for me. I still have some more music to give, whether it is something to teach somebody or something to just help somebody meditate or to share the love frequency, because I want to purposely record my music at the love frequency for 32 hertz. You know, so that's something I'm consciously doing in this on this project.
I
So we
love
hope to share that love frequency with everyone that listens to my music, because it's not only about dancing, but it's about feeling that energy, you know?
Yeah, you have to feel it from within. It's
Yes. Yes.
exactly. And as a member of the Marley family, as a daughter of Bob and Rita Marley, do you feel a certain responsibility to have to carry on the family's musical legacy and cultural legacy as well?
I think I'm leaving that to the younger generation now, because I did my part into keeping that energy alive for 20 or 30 years,
Mhm.
where when I was on the road with Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers. So now there's another generation after us. Our children are now here and they're all doing music. You know, majority of them are in the music field, and we hope that they will carry on where we are leaving off. So it's a continuity of what Bob started, really. It's not a pressure, it's just the heritage. You know, this is our heritage. And
Natural.
we pass it along. It came on to us. Now we're passing it to the next generation. So we are there to help them along the way and to show them. I mean, there's some burdensome parts of it, yes. I wouldn't say it's all easy, you
Mm-hmm.
know, but you have to be skillful. You have to know business, number one. You have to know some legalities, number two. You know, you have to have a kind approach to people. So it's a lot of things that go into carrying on this heritage.
You have to fully understand the business of it all, right?
Oh yes, that's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, how has your perspective on your father's music and his message evolved as you've grown older and navigated your own musical career?
Well, it still teaches us. You know, music will always teach us, especially Bob's music and any other good artists who put good work into their music. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because there are just some artists that come up and sing frivolous words on a track. You don't even understand what they're saying. It will live a little while, but then for posterity, it doesn't last that long. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so the music that Bob did are filled with messages, whether it is about love, whether it is about prophecy, whether it is about spirituality. They're filled with messages. It's almost like reading the Bible. You get a message, but you're not sure what it means. You have to meditate on what that could possibly mean. So that's what Bob music means to me. It's almost like gospel music, you know, when you know you're going to get a word somewhere.
Speaking to you. I love
Hmm.
some gospel music.
Me too. Me too.
Yes, and back to your song Steppah. Are there any specific themes or messages within Steppah that you hope your listeners will get out of that when they hear it?
Well, first of all, the theme is love. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's really love. It's really like no matter what it is, love remains the same. You know, if you've loved someone one time, you'll always love them, even if you're not together anymore, even if you've had differences, major issues. If that love was there if it was real love one time, it will always be there.
Yes.
So I've had I've been married 3 times. You know, even though I'm not still together with these partners, I still have love for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though I have differences, it's still love. You know, just like old friends who can talk on the phone. It's really love that I am spreading. You know, no need to have violent interactions and carry that bad negative energy around because you don't see the same thing. You know, you don't see things in the same way. You can have differences and still love. You know, that's how it should be.
I know everyone need to have that aspect because a lot of
Yeah.
people have some ugly divorces
Oh
out here.
yeah, it's not easy.
That's
It's
the
it's
rub.
definitely not easy. And I think growing up with my mother has taught me this too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy for any woman or any man to keep love as the main thing, even though this person and you are not together anymore. But I've seen my mother maintain that love for Bob all these years. You know, that no matter what, she still loves this man dearly. You know, so
That's beautiful.
that is just her attitude that I have. I will still fight, you know, don't get me wrong. But she's one of a kind, you know, she's very humble and sometimes she may have gotten beaten down because she's so humble, you know, but it helps her to maintain the right thing, which is love.
Yes. And onto that, how would you describe the visuals for Steppah? Did you have any specific goals when creating this project?
Well, my daughter really was the producer for the video.
Mm-hmm.
But we did have conversations about what it would be like. The same conversation I'm having with you. So we were like, you know what? Let's think about the relationship with me and your father. How did we start? You know, so it's basically kind of my story. You know, but I'm sure a lot of young people have gone through a story like that. You know, when
Mm-hmm.
they meet and they fall in love and everything is great, and then for some reason they have to part, and years on the line you see this person again, and you know it's just like old times. You know,
Exactly.
it's a
And
good dream.
yeah. And when it comes to your musical style, how do you feel it aligns or either diverges from your father's musical style? Are there any similarities and differences that make you unique as well and stand out?
Well, I specifically would like to try something different than the standard reggae. You know, I want to try other things. I want to try bluesy music. I want to try jazz. I want to try gospel music. I want to try something different, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and that's just because of what I want to do. Me personally as Sharon, you know, it's not keeping up with anyone. It's just something I'd like to try to do, you know, to expand my sound or this thing that I feel like I have inside of me to bring it out.
Definitely do. I feel like so many artists today are expanding and experiencing with different genres and styles of music. Like Beyonce,
Mhm.
for example, right now, she just released a country album and she went
That's
into
what that
house.
is. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
saw her with the hat, but I wasn't sure. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. I missed out a couple of weeks, you know, preparing for my first appearance in North America. It
Mm-hmm.
was great at the AGO Theater in Canada. It was beautiful at the Art Gallery of Ontario.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was you know, anxiety is the first time back on stage. You want to make sure everything is perfect,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I've been really tied up in that. So it went down very nicely. I know I'm kind of getting back into the world.
And how do you find ways to get yourself out of that anxiety and still keep yourself calm and zenned out? How do you find that balance?
That comes from years of working on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first time I went on stage, I literally cried. Yeah, the anxiety was so bad. I literally cried. I was like 16 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna make it look easy, but after a while, you get used to it and you know how to. Breathing is underrated. You know, breathing properly to
Yes.
calm down all your functions. You know, calm down your heart rate, calm down your lungs, expand your lungs. So it's really deep breathing and quiet. Before I go on stage, I just like to be in a quiet environment. Light has this, by the way, is a movement censored light. I'm in the
Oh, yeah.
studio, as I told you. I'm at the studio, so it's a move censored light. It goes on if I'm not moving. Yeah.
Oh, no, we understand. Well, we're actually about to wrap up. But before we wrap up, can you let us know what is next for you? What's next for Sharon Marley? I know you have an album coming out. Are you able to give us a little teaser or some kind of information about what we can expect with that, or just anything new in general that you can disclose?
Well, I'm working right now. I'm back in the studio. I'm doing over a Bob Marley track. Today I kind of laid the first layer on that Bob Marley track that I'm doing over. As well as this weekend I'm performing at the Afro Carib Fest in Miramar. Are you in Florida?
No, I'm actually in Philly.
Oh, you're in Philly. Okay.
Mhm.
I passed through Philly on my way back to Miami. If I knew you were there, I'd have stopped in, but next time.
Yeah, come and say hi to us.
Yeah, it's been pretty hectic. I mean, the album, I would like to put it out this year. It's been in the making. I want to say going on 2 years now. So it's time, artists they like to hold on to their work and make sure it's,
make sure it's
so
perfect.
that's happening. And yeah, I'm looking forward to wrapping. I have another single that will probably come out in another 3 months. I'm not sure which track of the album that would be, but that's happening. But for now, it's all about Steppah with Big Youth and Sharon Marley, going at it old school.
Love that. And how can our listeners stay up to date with everything that is going on in your world, stream your new music? How can they find you on social media and stream your music?
Okay, well, Instagram is I am Sharon Marley. I'm easy to find on Instagram. And my website is sharonmarley.com. I'm going to have up some merch for Steppah, and I'll be doing some vinyl. I have about maybe 100 vinyl 7-inch records that will be a collector's edition from the single. So check out my website, and hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. I know there's a Twitter handle as well. I'm Sharon Marley, so you never know. We might have a one-on-one conversation,
There we go.
Because I like to talk to my fans like that. I like to go on and have a little conversation on my DM sometimes,
See, people love that. It makes them more personable, makes you more human, because sometimes people
Exactly.
that connection.
Exactly.
I love that.
So I do that. I do that too.
Hey, you guys heard. If you guys want to connect with Sharon Marley, make sure you hit her up, follow her on social media, stream her music, let her know that you love the song Steppah. Make sure you guys check that out, especially run those numbers up. But before you guys go, make sure you also follow us. We are on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter @_all-of-the-above-1. That is how you stay up to date with everything that is going on in our world. And make sure you also subscribe to our YouTube channel @all-of-the-above podcast. That is where you will see this amazing interview with the lovely, wonderful, and talented reggae singer songwriter Sharon Marley. And you will see a host of all of our other celebrity interviews. And make sure you also go to our website, www.alloftheabove-podcast.com. That is where you will see a host of information, all of our interviews, all of our merch, our Philly Support Philly campaign, where we have everything that you can think of, and you will never miss a beat. Sharon, thank you so, so much for joining me today. This has been a pleasure. It's been a wonderful conversation.
Thank you. Thank you for hooking up with me.
Of course. And as always, I'm your girl, Angel Marie, and we will see you guys next time.
Wednesdays at 7, Angel Marie and Kevin playing the illest records, bringing us back together. Philly is all season, storming through any weather, leaving the track bleeding, where we pull it together. We applying my pressure. I am your new professor, teaching in some semester. Pay attention to lessons. I like a chili.